There we go. Right. Now, I'm going to keep an eye, hopefully, on the panel below, that if anybody does appear, then hopefully I can invite them in and get them in. And again, any questions, feel free to let me know. Oh, thank you for those apologies. That's great. Thank you, thank you. No bother at all. Let's pop that back down there. So, welcome to Burnout to Clarity. And I'm going to talk about the brain a lot as we kind of go through this because that's what is often keeping us stuck in the yuck and not helping us progress and move forward in the way that we would like to and the way that we would want to. So, who is this for? It's for small business owners, solopreneurs, people that are really trying to juggle everything and do everything themselves. And actually, they're doing all right, but they want to get to that next level. They want to get to that next run of the ladder, if you want to look at it that way. They might even want to get to the top of the ladder, but feel like for whatever reason they're a bit stuck at maybe run, I don't know, maybe three or four. They're up and going, doing all right, but just not quite at that next level, at that next step of where they want to be. And our brain, as it says there, it wants us to be safe. It has no interest in success, really and truly. And when I'm talking about the brain, what I'm talking about is that emotional old brain of ours. Logical day-to-day thinking brain absolutely wants for success. It wants all of that. Of course it does. But it's that old emotional brain of ours that wants us to stay safe. And as you will see as I go through this today, staying safe isn't always meaning comfortable. So let's get going. Are you going to move forward? Thank you. So, I've noticed that there's a slide there that is a bit wonky. Anyway, never mind. So, basically, you've got the strategy, you've got the skills, you've got the vision, you've got all of that thing done. Oh, let me just admit, you've got all of that thing, or you've got all of those ducks in a line. And if you still aren't progressing and you still aren't going forward, and business still feels hard, then that last duck could well be that brain of yours, that old emotional brain that is keeping you stuck. And that is exactly what we don't want. It feels like you're spinning all the plates, you're doing everything. But that brain of yours, as I keep saying, wants you to stay safe. And that actually keeps you in survival mode. Survival mode. Survival mode is not it's not it's not thriving. It's not progression. It's not moving forward. Survival mode is keeping you stuck where you are. Survival mode is basically your cup is filling up with the stuff that isn't very helpful. And as you can see with the images there, it's doing everything all of the time. It's trying to spin all of the plates and trying to keep them all up there. That all takes energy. And that takes the energy away from you running your business. Survival mode is basically fight and flight mode. And I think most of us have come across the fight and flight mode. And it is what our brain does in response to a threat, which is absolutely fine when we're in a threatening situation. And it's often that get up and fight or the run for the hills, get me out of here. And to be honest, I think when it comes to that survival mode, it's often a get me out of here. I don't want to be in this situation. But we've got a situation that when survival mode takes over, when stress takes over, when overwhelm and anxiety, when panic, whatever it might be, when that takes over, it puts blocks in our way. It blocks decisions. It gives us emotional flatness, future disconnection, to be honest, because your brain wants you to stay where you are, wants you to stay where you are, living, breathing, and stay safe. That future to that old emotional brain of ours can look scary, which can sound a bit strange and a bit weird and a bit wonderful. But they did some experiments a little bit ago and put people in what they call function MRI scanners. And a function MRI scanner is basically a scanner where they can see the body moving and doing what it needs to do. So they were imaging the brain and they were asking them basically three things. The first thing they asked was them to imagine themselves and certain parts of the brain lit up. Then they got them to imagine a stranger and obviously different parts of the brain lit up. Then they got them to imagine themselves in the future and stranger brain lit up. And it just highlights that our brain struggles to see us in the future. So if you think about your vision, if you've got it, great. You need to remind yourself of that so your brain knows where you're going. The same with the goals that you have in business. You've got to keep reminding yourself. And where possible, if you can, really imagine them. And, people talk about setting up thingy boards. Oh gosh, it's gone out of my head. I hope you know what I'm saying. And those vision boards, put on them what you want, but make sure you can see them. Make sure it's there, doesn't just go in a drawer like that plan goes in a drawer, never to be seen again. The brain will keep you stuck. You've got to do things to keep it moving forward, to keep it okay with the future. And my next slide here. You can't build a future where your brain is locked in the past. And I often say it's a little bit like having an elastic band stuck to you. Every time you move a few steps forward, suddenly you find yourself getting pulled back. And it's that elastic band that's keeping you where you are. And that's not helpful. That's not helping you to move forward, not helping you to progress. So that elastic band needs cutting. And in a sense, it's part and parcel of the work I did with Wendy. Wendy, I do talk about a wee bit as we're going along because I worked with Wendy at the end of last year, and we're still in contact now, and we still do bits and bobs together. But working with Wendy, she went from 5 clients to 25 clients. She smashed her month and is still moving forward and is still doing extremely well. And most months, she's either doing the same as she did the previous month or she's moving forward and doing more on a financial level. But this isn't just about finances. For her, she didn't feel comfortable sat in her own garden. And actually, Wendy lives out in Thailand. So you can imagine she lives in a gorgeous, gorgeous part of the world, but was petrified to go out and explore and see that and be part of that. So, not just helping her business, it's helped her in her private life as well. And she's made some huge, huge decisions recently, which she says she wouldn't have been able to do if we hadn't have worked together, so that her brain is feeling more comfortable. So, as well as being able to get out in her garden now and enjoy life, she is absolutely smashing it in business. And this isn't magic. This is what happens when your brain stops scanning for threats. And the thing is, we might not necessarily appreciate and realize that it's doing that, but that's what it's wanting to do, is keep you safe. And keeping you safe can lead to burnout. And if you're, again, juggling everything, trying to do everything, trying to focus on everything, and you find that you can't, it's not a lack of motivation. It's not a lack of skill. It's a lack of bandwidth, because all of your energy is being used up. And if you haven't got the energy left for growth, then it's not surprising that we can end up being and staying completely stuck where we are. Growth needs creativity. Growth needs logic, but stress can absolutely lock you out. So again, as you can see on the slide, it's burnout that keeps us feeling yuck. But where we need to be is in our logical creative brain. We need the creativity for the ideas, for the excitement, for the fun and all that sort of a thing. But we also need the logic, because some of those 2 a.m. ideas when you can't sleep might feel absolutely fantastic and amazing in that moment at 2 a.m. in the morning. But logically, when you wake up at, I don't know, 7 o'clock or whatever it might be, you might need that logic to go, maybe that wonderful, amazing idea necessarily helpful for me to move forward just yet. So again, we need to be in logical, creative brain, not in that scanning brain that's looking for a threat that keeps us stuck, that zaps our energy and stops us from moving forward in the way that we would like to. And this is what I call the kind of that hidden loop that we can get stuck in. So as you can see at the top, the overfunctioning, doing everything, spinning all the plates, life, and this isn't just in business. This isn't just doing everything in business. It's not just doing your content, your website maintenance, your oh my God, your taxing, your accounts. It's not looking at that. It's looking at everything. Life, juggling life as well in amongst all of this. So the overfunctioning leads into emotional exhaustion. And as I've said, it zaps the energy. And with that emotional exhaustion leads to poor decision, that decision fatigue that we feel and are part of because we can't function, we can't get it, we're not part of it all. The energy isn't there. And it then just creates friction in business, which slows everything down and makes you end up just doing the absolute basics. And sometimes in these situations, we end up doing sort of the £10 jobs rather than the £100, £1,000 jobs in business. And there'll be many people that are in a situation that they absolutely need to begin to outsource. But the problem is they're stuck in that fear, that's stuck in that complete paralysis of, oh, that costs money. How do I do that? How's that? How's that happening? And that bit of a catch-22 of, can't afford that, so keep doing everything. But the problem is when you keep doing everything half-heartedly, again, nothing grows and nothing progresses. So what we need is to go from a brain that is buffering all the time, has 250,000 tabs open, or whatever it might be, to a brain that feels calm. When your brain is feeling calm, it's not looking out for that stress. It's not scanning all of the time for what's happening, for what's going on. It's not looking for threats. And that creates growth. That creates success. That creates moving forward. That creates everything that is helpful for you to move forward in the most comfortable way for you. So the next level isn't about pushing harder. It isn't about working more. It's about actually regulating what's going on inside of you. When your brain is feeling calm, your body feels calm. When your brain is feeling calm, you can access the logic, you can access the creativity. And that's what it's about, moving forward in a way that feels safe for you, but also feels safe for that brain of yours. And that's what my Resilience Reset half day is all about. It's about taking you from the overwhelm to beginning to rewire that brain of yours so that you can feel the way that you want to feel. 3 hours of learning calm and productivity. It will introduce you to the calm button, which is a really quick technique that can be used to help, again, rewire that brain of yours so that you can respond and react the way that you want to. And it's very quick and very effective. But you'll also meet the AI version of me within the half day reset. And I refer to her as a she. You can call it an it if you want, but I end up calling her a she, so apologies there. But she is available 24/7. She's the one that's available at 3:30 in the morning when your brain's going around it all. You can get it all out there to her. And she holds a space that is just for you. It's not about fixing things. It's about holding a space that gives you time to think and time to breathe. And I love this little video here, and I'm hoping it'll play. Yes, it will. Because to me, this is what is about this. This is a brilliant representation of the neural pathways in your brain and how they light up and send all the messages to where they need to send to. But safety is what I keep saying the brain wants you to be. But that doesn't mean growth. Safety means sitting still. And the thing is, as well, in the world that we live in right now, if we're sitting still in business, we're actually going backwards. And that's the tough bit out there. Sitting still is as awful as it sounds, but it's not good enough anymore. It's not going to get you where you want to get to. And it's about rewiring those familiar pathways and patterns that that brain of yours have learned, the neural pathways going down that route over and over and over again, because that's the overworking. That's the just work harder. That's the, oh, get up earlier. Excuse me. Excuse me. And that isn't helpful. It's like it's putting on a glove that it's worn over and over and over and over again. But the problem is that is an old glove and it's a worn out glove. And it's a glove that needs updating, needs maybe it needs a hole or two that needs fixing. It definitely needs that ability to be able to move forward. And your brain, let's see if I can get this to play again. I don't know if, wait, yes, it will. Your brain is what we call plastic. It's plasticity, which means that your brain can change. If I just take a moment and think about driving a car, majority of people do drive, and if you do, then hopefully this resonates. But you drive your car, and then you decide to get a new car. Now, let's say this car is an automatic, and you've gone from a manual to an automatic. And you're driving along in this lovely, wonderful car. It smells gorgeous. It feels wonderful. It feels amazing. The radio's in a slightly different place, which just feel quite right. And some of the what's its aren't quite the same. But you come to a junction and suddenly you're putting the clutch in and you realize there's no clutch there. I'm in an automatic. But your brain has learnt how to drive a manual and is stuck driving a manual. But it's not long before you're not putting the clutch down any longer, before everything in that car is 100% familiar. Because your brain, as I said, is plasticity. Those neural pathways that light up are lighting up in a different way. And the older neural pathways, they kind of just die away, really, because they're not needed any longer. However, you then go and buy another car a few years later and you go back to a manual. And suddenly you come to a junction, you realize, oh, you're about to stall because you haven't put the clutch in. But again, before you know it, you're back to driving it and everything feels wonderful and everything feels amazing and you enjoy your wonderful new car. So, yes, your brain can absolutely change. And again, that is where the resilience half day experience begins. Beginning to rewire your brain so that you can respond and react in the way that you want to. Again, it's not through a lack of skill. It's through a brain that is not responding and reacting the way that is helpful for you. It's keeping you stuck where it feels is comfortable. So it's all about taking you from the overwhelm to feeling calm and growth. I just realised that slide looks really terrible. I thought I'd check through them all as well. I do apologise. That slide looks awful. Anyway, never mind. It is what it is. It's a bit like now we're here and we're doing it. But I wanted to share the next slide with you. And this is Heather that did my 4-week resilience reset. And the half day reset that I've created, excuse me, is a version of that. And some of the feedback that Heather gave me made me realize that actually what I was doing and could do, I could condense down into a morning rather than it being spread over 4 weeks. So again, Heather just gave me some words there. And as she said here, provides not only supportive, but real insights and tools that helped me regain some clarity and confidence in a calm and safe space. I also added the bonus of being introduced to AI Helen, and I'll mention AI Helen as we kind of move along a little bit further. So your first step was to come along to this webinar and be part of this webinar. Your second step is when you're ready to move to that next level, is, as I mentioned, the Resilience Reset Half Day. And it begins, no, it doesn't begin. It is on the 23rd of July at 8:30, which is 2 weeks today. And if any of this resonates with you, oh, hang on, admitting somebody coming in. If any of this resonates with you, if any of this sounds interesting to you, then it's naturally the next step to take for your business to grow and to move forward in a way that you probably dream of and that you want. But that brain of yours just needs to be on side with you. We need to break that cycle of that old brain, that emotional brain of yours being stuck in survival mode. We need it to be in thriving mode so that you can move forward. And as I mentioned, you'll get to explore AI Helen. AI Helen is an interactive journaling tool. And Wendy, that I mentioned before, she is still using AI Helen now as part of business growth when she needs to journal anything out rather than getting pen and paper. She goes to Helen and explores it with Helen. And it's, as I said earlier, it's a safe space so that you can explore your thoughts and your feelings and what's happening and what's kind of going on around this. There's another lady that is currently using AI Helen, and she trying to remember, I'm pausing for a second, I'm trying to remember. So she downloaded her on, let's say, for example, the Wednesday, I can't remember what the day it was, and she messaged me on the Thursday saying, "Oh, Helen, it's like I'm talking to you. This is great. This is amazing. This is fantastic." And then by the end of the day, she went, "Oh, Helen has given me a really, really good idea for business." So she'd gone off and she'd posted some bits and bobs around it. And the next morning, she sent me a message saying, "Helen, I've got someone signed up to my new, I don't know, whatever she called it, my new offering already." So it's not just necessarily on an emotional level. She has the ability to help you on many levels. And if I move on to this slide here, because this is what Heather, as I shared her slide before, said about AI Helen. AI Helen is a journaling mentor, AI designed to help business owners who are overwhelmed, anxious, or stuck in indecision. But what blew my mind was how emotional and empathetic she is. It really did feel like I was talking to the real Helen. There is no robotic scripts, just explanations, journal prompts, and advice, plus the reminders to stop and breathe. So lovely. And that's part and parcel of this as well. It is being able to just pause sometime and breathe. We can get so busy doing. And that is part of that survival mode. Where we actually need to do at times is just pause and slow down and just breathe. It's so important to just slow things down a bit. So by the end of, oh, it says the sprint there. I do apologise that some of these slides aren't great. I will hold my hands up. My dad has been a little bit unwell, so my focus hasn't been as, no, reword that. My time hasn't been as lucrative, should we say. So I do apologise. But by the end of the half day reset, these are the things that you'll be able to say. I can breathe again. And that's part and parcel of slowing things down. Can end up so busy doing. Don't get a chance to slow down. And yeah, things like I can raise my prices without flinching. Money is such a big one that we worry about, that we fret about, and can often stop us from sending that email of maybe it's a quote, maybe it's giving people your fees. And if you're not sending things like that, then people don't even get a chance to say no because you're not giving them the opportunity in the first place. So you're leaving money on the table, as the saying goes. My brain is quieter. I'm showing up like the leader I am. And I think that's part of this is really stepping into being the leader that you are, moving forward your way, because that's really important to me. It's about rewiring that brain of yours so you can respond and react the way that you want to. And that's your choice, nobody else's. That's the choice that you make, how you want to be in that scenario, in that situation. I'm just pausing for a moment there. Yeah, no, sorry, I was just checking my notes for a moment there, making sure I'd mentioned everything that I wanted to. So, what's included in your reset. Yes, it's 3 hours in the morning, maximum of 8 people. I want to keep it small so that I can spend time with people if needs be, kind of within that 3 hours. The calm button reset technique. It's quick, it's effective. And what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to do it a few times within that 3 hours as well, so that people really do get a feel of it. And when the 3 hours is up, they've really already got that feel and know how to use it, and how it helps them moving forward. It's like anything in life, when we repeat things, it's so much easier to keep going. Gentle business clarity support, obviously, there. And as I've mentioned already, access to AI Helen. You get 7 days afterwards, and the ability that if you want to have a chat around anything after the 7 days, then we can kind of organise that. It's absolutely doable within that. So the investment is £122 that you will invest in you to get you thinking and feeling how you want to. So just some words again, some words from Wendy herself here. I mentioned Wendy earlier of helping her move forward so that she is, yeah, absolutely smashing it in business. And that's what it's about. Again, running your business your way and having the energy to be able to do that. And also, when you've got the energy to do that, it kind of creates a momentum that then keeps flowing and keeps growing and keeps moving forward. I know Wendy's put her fees up now at least twice. And I only worked with her at the end of last year and beginning of this year. And again, as I said, twice she's put her fees up. It might be that actually she's done it a third time because I know she was doing something else the other day. But that's what it's about. That's how powerful it is and how important it is for business growth. And then this is Gail. I worked with Gail at the beginning of the year, and yeah, I helped her. It wasn't through the half day reset. This was a couple of hours. Well, I suppose actually it was a bit longer than a couple of hours because we did the initial session of talking, having a really good chat around things, and then there was 2 sessions of what I would call therapy that got her unstuck and moving forward in the most comfortable way for her. So, thank you for listening. There is the QR code there to be popped on the wait list, ready for 2 weeks today. It is at 8:30 in the morning. Feel free to grab your place on the wait list, and then you will be obviously sent everything that you need around all of this. Now, what I'm going to do to finish off with, I'm going to just take everybody through um, I'm going to say a quick relaxation technique. And it's dead simple and it's dead easy to kind of do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, sorry, I've just noticed my notes. Part and parcel of this, the half day reset, it's about giving you more peace, more peace of mind, more thinking space. Again, like before, being more creative and then accessing more of the logic because emotion takes over logic, which isn't very helpful. Better decisions, better decisions moving forward. And also being able to have the confidence in those decisions to really see them through. And that emotional resilience, that is so important in business because things do knock us. And whether that's business stuff or whether that's personal stuff, it's that ability to be able to bounce back afterwards. And momentum, as I mentioned, that momentum of moving things forward. Once it's a little bit like the snowball effect, you kind of start it at the top of the hill and it's small and you push it down the hill and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and rolls faster and faster and faster. And that's something that Wendy has definitely seen with her. Her brain is responding and reacting the way she wants it to now, which is helping her to move forward much quicker and gain that momentum in business. So as I said, I'm going to stop share. And I'm going to just go through. And if you don't want to go through this, it's fine. You can jump off now. I won't take offense, as awful as that sounds. But as I said, I'm just going to go through a relaxation technique. So what I want you all to do, you can keep again, keep your videos on if you don't, if you wish, or turn them off. I really, really don't mind. But I'm going to ask you all to just have a shuffle in your seat for a moment. Just have a shuffle around in your seat. Just make yourselves comfortable because you might have been sat listening to me and not moved. So just make yourselves comfortable. And what I would like you to do is just close your eyes for me. And all I want you to do is just quite simply be aware of your breathing. So just being aware of every breath in and every breath out. And allowing your breathing to just be calm, to just be relaxed. Let your breathing be at a depth and a pace that is absolutely perfect for you. Just gentle, just calm, just relaxed. And if you can direct that breathing down into your belly, then that's great. But if that's not comfortable, that's okay. Just steady breathing. And then what I'd like you to do, I want you to send your attention, your focus, and let it drift all the way up there to the very top of your brain. Finding yourself at the very top of your brain, just under your skull, in whatever way feels right for you. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to drift down through the conscious layers of your brain. And you're going to drift down into that most powerful part of your brain. So allow yourself to do that now. Just gently drift down, going down into that most deepest, most powerful part of your brain. And you will find yourself here within this most deepest, most powerful part of your brain, in whatever way feels right for you. This is the part of your brain that knows everything about you. It knows what's good for you. It knows what's bad for you. It knows what you should and what you shouldn't do. This is the part of your brain that contains the absolute essence of you. And what I'd like you to do now, I want you to allow your mind now to drift. But I want you to drift into your future. I want you to drift to a year from now. Imagine yourself a year from now, somewhere where you feel absolutely comfortable. Could be indoors, could be outdoors. Somewhere where it's just peaceful. It's just calming. It's just relaxing. It's just a really comfortable place to be. And as you're here in your comfortable place, I want you to take a moment and notice what's different in your world. Notice where you are in business. Notice what that looks like and what that feels like. Allow yourself to vision it, to dream it, to be in amongst it all, but you're there in your comfortable place and realizing over the last year how well you've done, how far you've come. And yes, there's still things to do. There's still things to move forward. There's still progression to make moving forward. But notice that you're on that path, moving forward comfortably, easily. Now, it might be that you have a new office space. It might be that your fees are increased. It might be that you are working with the most amazing people. It might be that you've produced the most wonderful piece of work. But whatever it is, wherever you find yourself, you're in the future, and it's that future you, and you notice that as well as being so chuffed and so proud with what you've achieved this year, that you're actually feeling so comfortable, so calm. There's an excitement there of what this next year is going to bring for you. And let that excitement be there. Let that burn away inside of you, wherever that lives, whether it's in your belly, in your heart, in your chest, or whether it's through the whole of you. Let it be there, knowing that there's nothing holding you back. There's nothing stopping you from progressing in the most amazing way. And that feels comfortable. That feels good. In fact, it feels fantastic. So again, just taking a moment to reflect back over the year, noticing how far you've come, what you've achieved, what you've done, and noticing as well that it wasn't that difficult. The momentum began and everything just flowed. Everything just easily and effortlessly just came together. Knowing that all those decisions that you made all helped you get to where you are. So just be there for a moment, thinking, feeling, dreaming, visioning, whatever the word would be, just there in that moment, and you're part of it. And you're where you want to be. But you also know that this momentum will keep going, keep moving forward. And your business, your life, everything, just continue to flow with ease. That feels good. Knowing that you're navigating through this in a way that is filled with confidence and strength and positivity. That feels fantastic. So just enjoy. And then just drifting back to that most powerful part of your brain for me. Finding yourself here within this most powerful part of your brain. And you just pause there for a moment with that future vision, that future you, that future self. And you just pause there, just letting every cell in your body know that this is you moving forward in the most amazing way for you. Every cell in your body realizing it, listening, actualizing it, making it all happen for you. Knowing also where you want to be. Every cell in your body helping you move forward in the most amazing way for you. And then allowing yourself to just easily and effortlessly drift back up through the conscious layers of your brain. And as you're drifting up, you notice this amazing bright light of pure consciousness. You allow yourself to drift up into it. And as you do so, that energy flows down through you, flows down to the tips of your fingers, flows down to the tips of your toes, energizing every part of you. And then allowing yourself to drift all the way back here to the here and now, bringing back with you all those comfortable feelings, all that excitement. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for going through that with me, because not everybody kind of likes to do that bit. And just before we bring today to an end, does anybody have any questions or anything they would like to add or ask? And what I am going to do is I'm going to stop recording